In the 10 largest employment sectors in the United States, women hold just 18% of the management positions. And that's where we are 50% of the labor force. And with the highest of those sectors, the highest number of women are in academia, and of course the lowest number of women in leadership positions are in the military. We also know that women represent just 17% of CEOs of Fortune 500 companies and just 17% of Congress. Study after study, though, shows that women can help success. A recent study of the Fortune 500 shows that American corporations with boards consisting of at least 25% women outperform companies without women or just a few women by a 40% return on sales, by a 53% return on equity, and by a 66% return on invested capitals. The other thing we know is that mothers are now the primary breadwinners or co-breadwinners in almost 2/3 of American families, and by contrast, in 1967, women were only 1/3 of all workers. And now here's a bit of the girls' perspective. More than 3 in 4 girls in this study agreed that girls today, or think that girls have it easier than 25 years ago. And 85% of the girls studied believe that a woman will become president of the U.S. during their lifetime. On the other hand, we know that negative influences abound. There's peer pressure, unrealistic and unhealthy media images, lack of mentors, the corrosive effect of bullying, and also a lack of support for science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM, which is where the higher paying jobs can be found. This cycle of discouragement begins in grade school and goes on to have a far-reaching impact on our society. And if this continues unchecked, millions of our girls may not reach their full potential as leaders in our society. Furthermore, the research documents that many girls lack confidence. The cycle of discouragement makes girls feel ambivalent about leadership or even wanting to avoid leadership altogether. More than 1/3 of the girls say they wouldn't feel comfortable trying to be a leader. 39% say a leader has to speak in front of a group and they don't want to do that. And 59% of girls agree that it's easier to be a follower than a leader, and almost 40% are not sure whether they're cut out to be a leader at all. Our goal for the Year of the Girl is very ambitious, and it's very urgent. We want to create balanced leadership in one generation. We want 50-50. To do that, we must ask all adult members of society, mothers, fathers, corporations, governments, nonprofits, adults of every kind, to help girls reach their leadership potential and to help us place this urgent issue front and center on the national agenda. So let's start talking about what girls think right now about the concept of leadership. What does being a leader mean to girls of the USA? Girls have very definite ideas. They define leadership in terms of people skills and inspiring behaviors, high personal principles, and the ability to affect change. Girls want to become adults who embody leadership qualities, but they shy away from some aspects of leadership. In this new research, only 36% of the girls define leadership as willingness to lead or take charge. Instead, girls describe good leaders as someone who can connect with others and inspires others through the following qualities: standing up for their beliefs and values, trying to change the world for the better, and bringing people together to get things done. So again, what is leadership? It's being a good role model, inspiring others to get involved, and helping others, including the weak, and respecting and listening to others. However, our research shows that when a leader is described as someone who is in charge of other people and makes decisions that affect other people, only 19% of girls strongly agreed that they want to be that kind of leader when they're older. Now, how are girls leading? We know that girls have definite ideas about leadership and definite ideas about how leaders should act. And we also know that girls want to gain the positive attributes of leadership. But are girls today actively pursuing and taking on leadership roles? And the answer is yes. The GFK research confirms that more than half of girls have been elected, appointed, or asked, asked to lead. More than 80% of girls believe they have influence with their friends and classmates. And about 70% of the girls say they might be likely to organize other students to, for example, get rules changed in school in order to make the school a better place. But what happens when girls get older? Believe it or not, the research shows that girls already see glass ceilings in their future. And remember, this study was for girls that were 8 to 17 years old. Almost 9 in 10 girls, or 89%, say men outnumber women in leadership positions today in places like Congress or as heads of major corporations. 8 in 10 of the girls, or 81%, say the workplace could do a better job of meeting the needs of female workers and of families. And almost 3 in 5 girls, or 60%, think that while women can rise in a company, they will rarely reach the top of the company. So it looks like girls are pretty aware of what's going on around them. They see that a woman's leadership journey is very different from a man's journey, and from a young age, they see challenges for women reaching their potential. In this area, girls described a positive adult as a person who is a good role model, praises the things you do, listens and tries to understand you, respects your opinion, gives you advice, and helps with problems. So of those positive adults, the role models, besides their family, are teachers, grandparents, aunts and uncles, coaches, and community leaders. And then, in the media, girls also list role models such as 21% of girls pointed to singers or musicians as a well-known woman you look up to. 7% of girls listed a civil or women's rights leader like Rosa Parks, and 4% of girls mentioned someone from the political arena or an elected or appointed political figure. But female business leaders or scientists are not mentioned at all. 60% of girls say they have not been offered the opportunity to visit the workplaces of successful women in their community. And 4 of 10 girls say they've had no opportunities at all to interact with successful women during the past year. And yet we know that girls need to see past the usual stereotypes of what women can achieve. So, where are we? For me, there are 2 very important bottom line messages from this research, and this is first. When we use the traditional command and control model in language of leadership, we turn girls off. When we model more modern approaches to leadership and talk about the importance of a balanced approach to leadership, we can tap the view that girls instinctively already have about effective leadership. And second, there are clear opportunities for adults to impact the life of a girl.